if I make $100 a month, I would get happy.
Mm.
But now I get orders worth $100. I always find like sleep is my tablet. So anything, everything, I sleep, it gets fixed for me for some reason. But now I'm like, okay, if I sleep, I can't do this. Let me go finish this and come.
Can you share how much is the minimum you have paid to an influencer and how much is the maximum you have paid to an influencer? Thank you for joining me on the Hustlers podcast. I talk to immigrant entrepreneurs so that you and I can learn from them on how to start businesses as an immigrant or enjoy the stories of their hustle and support small businesses. I'm Jai Desai, just another immigrant calling Austin, Texas home. I started this podcast because in today's world, you can't rely on one job or any job to succeed or build a stable income. My aim is to start something of my own and hopefully inspire others along the way. In my 9th episode, I had a very honest conversation with Poornima, founder of Tara Herbals, about things to do before starting your business, starting from scratch, initial investments, and her philosophy of growing business slowly and organically. We also dove into things like influencer marketing, how much she pays those influencers, how she handles the stress of running a business, her learnings as an entrepreneur, and how important it is to use natural skincare and hair care products, something our Indian grandparents swore by, but it seems to be slipping away of our minds lately. Hi Poornima, welcome to the Hustlers podcast. Can you please introduce yourself for our audience?
Thank you for this opportunity, Jeng. I'm an entrepreneur of Tara Herbals. I make Indian origin skincare and hair care products. Growing up, grandparents always used to make these products at home. And it is like almost staples in South India. This is like this body wash powder and hair wash powders. Every summer, it's ritually made at my home and even around us. They dry all the herbs and they have it powdered and they store it for the rest of the year.
Okay.
And it is a very similar fashion that I'm also doing here. They are all very natural to put on your skin. It's what you eat is similarly what you put on your skin is also very important.
How did you start? Why this space?
I personally had an issue with my hair called alopecia. It's an autoimmune disease, and you get patches of round balls of scalp area, and that will not have hair at all.
Hmm.
It used to get aggravated at certain point of my whenever I am like really stressed, and after my kids were born during the postpartum, it was affecting me a lot. Yeah, and then once like suddenly out of a blue moon, I thought from my childhood, I've had this issue. My mom told me that when she used to comb my hair when I was a kid, she has seen spots, but she didn't take it very seriously. But how it did not grow bigger is what I was thinking. And I thought I used to use shikakai powder during those times when I was kid. Not once have used shampoo on my hair till I was 20. So
Okay.
it has always been shikakai powder. So then I thought it is only after the 20 years that I started seeing alopecia and it was not going. I went to so many doctors. It didn't go. But then I was able to reverse it was using my shampoo, using shikakai powder and natural products,
Okay.
castor oil and all that. That happened. I was able to cure it before wedding, but after my wedding and after kids, after my son, it was like I'm not again. I was going back to that phase when I was not able to grow my hair back, and then that's when I thought, okay, let me push away all those toxic shampoos and try going back to what I was doing when I was small. And surprisingly, it did help. My hair fall reduced and my hair growth started, and it was really helping me. And then this idea came like, why can't I introduce this to people? Tell them this is what it is happening. It's for true. People have been using this for generations. So I wanted to introduce it back to people and also introduce to the Western world that something like this also exists.
Okay.
And non-water formulations are becoming a trend nowadays.
Okay.
Non-water formulations are something like using shampoo bars and then conditioner bars and then everything like waterless.
Okay.
They're also face packs with waterless. We are trying to say that shampoo contains 70% of water and only the ingredients that are actually working are only 20 to 30%. But this has been going on in India for generations where use powders
Yeah.
for paste for body and washing your body and washing your hair. So I was like, oh my God, this has been existing for generations in our place, while now it is becoming a trend in the Western world. So having seen that opportunity coming, because it was being told that it is going to be the next big thing, waterless cosmetics.
Hmm.
So I was trying to get into this business with that aspect to introduce people the goodness of our herbs and natural products. And it has been a tradition, our tradition, which is being rich with science and which they were revered and followed with generations. I want to introduce that to our present generations.
So you solved your own problem with alopecia, right? The hair thing,
Yes,
waterless
waterless
products.
from.
Yeah. So now it's a good idea. You started this business. But how did you start? How did you test your idea of, yes, I'm able to sell this?
I would say that I did not follow a very rigorous business model. I just thought I would start. And then I registered a business. And whatever the shikakai shampoo bar that I made was only tested on our family. So we first used it and then I started sharing it with my friends. Give it a try, whether you like it or not.
Hmm.
And they all loved it. Everybody was surprised by the fact that it lathers.
Hmm.
Everybody knows like only the shampoo will lather. And when as a bar, when they were putting it on the hair, when it lathered and it was like taking away and cleaning the hair, they were all surprised. And they all liked the concept too. They also loved it. So that's how I got a little more confidence. The product is good.
Hmm.
Now I can go forward and start as a selling model. So that's how I started. And I just learned all the way, Jay. I'm doing that now, looking for venture capitals if possible now. But
So you shared this with your friends. What did they like about your product? Was it solving any problem for them?
I think people are genuinely looking for natural products nowadays.
Okay.
And natural products, by what I mean is non toxic, non chemical. They are all aware that most of the products are having chemicals or toxins which are leading to cancers
Hmm.
and the single use plastic containers. At least in my circle of friends, they all are like really looking forward. And I'm really so thankful that most of my customers are customers who come in that way of thinking. Like when they appreciate me telling that you are saving a planet and giving a good product, which is non toxic and which is also yet effective. So luckily, all the customers liked it, and that's how I'm going forward.
Okay. So then how did you prepare your products, especially here, right? You are in US, based out of Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I literally started doing from my kitchen, and that's how I started with one batch of soap. And then now I've shifted out of my home completely because everything was scattered, which I myself couldn't take anymore.
Where did you get your ingredients from? Because are these ingredients commonly available here? Or
The Indian ingredients are like mostly I get it shipped from India. I have it sourced and I get it shipped from India. And other ingredients which go into making of soap or other basic ingredients, I procure here only. There are wholesale online websites for skincare and hair care products manufacturing. So I procure most of the raw ingredients like my butters and oils and all that from them.
okay. And so how did you establish India operations? How did you figure out suppliers?
Yes, suppliers as usually are like my local sourcing agents. And like I know, like we grew up where we find what, right, in our cities and all that. So as of now, my parents help me to because it's like maybe twice in a year. So I have all the list done
Hmm.
ready, and my parents just help me with shipping and procuring it and sending it. Other than that, I also do like online shipping a lot. Even from India, there are a lot of major distributions happening online. So I order online and they ship it also to me directly. That also happens.
Okay. And how did you learn these soaps or other products you are making? How did you learn to make them?
There was like a online formulation course. It's not a very major course, I would say, like any diploma or degree, but it is just a certification course that I did to know the basic and how it works and all that, how the formulation actually works. I attended classes, a lot of classes, and also trial and error methods from there.
And
Yeah.
how long were these courses? How much time did you invest? How much money did you invest?
Yeah, the courses are like somewhere around $500 to $1,000. And being an online course, you can do it on your own pace. And then after understanding the concepts, you have to take in their exam. And once you go through that exam, you are certified to be a formulator from there.
So,
So
do you
if
need that certification to start this kind of business?
I see a lot of other soapas and other skincare entrepreneurs like me, like mompreneurs over internet, all they have all been self-taught, self-learned.
Hmm.
And there are also so many books available online how about making soaps, making lotions, and all that.
Right.
But I really wanted to see because there would be some questions from the customers like this, right? Like, so I'm going to say that I'm a self-taught. They are not. I don't know how comfortable they would be to buy from me.
Hmm.
So I literally wanted to convince them as well as to convince myself that whatever I'm learning apart also should be like in par with what I'm doing.
Okay. So you did the course and then you experimented with few formulations and then you launched your business. Is that how it worked?
I launched my business before
Okay.
and then did my
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And the course gave me more confidence and helped me formulate more. For
Okay.
example, I only did a simple bar of
Hmm.
shikakai soap, but then how can I make it more luxurious?
Hmm.
What additives if I make into it, it's going to make the hair smoother.
Hmm.
What additives if I add into it, it's going to give a healthier hair.
Okay.
So those concepts were given in the
Hmm.
class.
Okay. Is registering a business easy in this area? What were the steps,
I
processes?
think as long as you are eligible to do a business and registering is not a problem. You just go to the comptroller's office website and register your business
Okay.
state-wise.
Are there any inspections to do once you register your business?
Yeah. Not in my case because skincare and hair care, I'm doing from home or an online business, especially. So there's not much of rules going on with that. But if you want to set up a store, like a storefront to sell it,
Hmm.
you might have some rules to follow.
Got
Uh, You might have
And
some
you said,
inspections, you might standards.
yeah, and like how food is very regulated. You need to have proper guidelines to follow. Is this beauty or personal care not very regulated industry?
Overall, it's not very regulated, yes. But there are some basic rules that you have to follow. Like you really have to mention what are the ingredients you are putting into the product.
Hmm.
So that labeling and then the size of the product and where it is being manufactured.
Okay. So now everything is sorted. You tested with your friends, you got your business license. How did you start selling? What mediums or channels did you use?
Initially, I started my Facebook shop.
Okay.
And my Insta shop is still not working. I don't know why. I'm still having my struggles. My Facebook shop also stopped working.
Okay.
And then I have to invest in developing a website. And
Okay.
my major sales happen through my website and my local community sales and through WhatsApp groups and something like that. I do have my herbal tint hair color. It's my henna herbal color
Okay.
available on Amazon.
So you opened a Facebook page, but how did you attract people to it?
But major initial sales that I started was only happening through my WhatsApp marketing, Jay. Because I started in a very low, I didn't have any much of aspirations at that time. I was just thinking to start and I thought like it would just happen through WhatsApp. But it was not easy.
Okay.
It was not at all easy. There were
What?
days then where,
Yeah.
yeah, the first thing is trust. Anybody who wants to buy your product has to trust you and your product.
Hmm.
So out of a blue, if I come as a product and if I'm asking them to buy, why would they buy?
Hmm.
So I need to give them the trust. And I had to work a lot on that. And I also keep stalls in
Okay.
the events. So physically also I was keeping stalls And then it was a tough journey there to get the trust from people,
Okay.
to let them know what I'm doing. And I was also very petrified. I
Hmm.
was very petrified to show my face, talk to people. But then later, if I don't talk for myself, who's going to talk for me and my products, right? So I slowly started coming up with showing myself on Insta and
Hmm.
Facebook and letting them know that this is how the product is made and giving them the knowledge about the product. And then word of mouth also helped a lot.
Hmm.
So it's I say like in this 3 years of my business, this year I'm able to be more confident is because those 2 years, those few customers who really trusted me, trusted my
Hmm.
products, and told several other of their friends, and that gave me a lot of confidence to go forward to talk for my product and myself.
And what was that trust establishing process? How did you do it initially?
Yeah. I mean, whenever they come in the stalls, they ask a lot of questions,
Hmm.
and it was that patience and perseverance that really helped me a lot, and answering the questions with patience. One customer would ask 100 questions, another customer would not ask anything, but just they would like the product and they would take it.
Hmm.
But that customer who asked me hundreds of questions, and when I answered it very, you know, patiently and answered them all, they were so happy that I took the time, the patience to
Hmm.
explain it to them.
Hmm.
And they bought my product,
Okay.
they tried it, and then they shared it to their friends.
Okay. Interesting. And so this was offline. How did you do it online? Because you were also selling through WhatsApp and Facebook.
Yes, yes. Online is usually making the flyers. That's a very usual process, Jay. There's nothing much there to do because you just have to be repetitively showing yourself to
Hmm.
people and letting them know. And maybe after seeing it, they used to reach out to me asking, can you tell more about the product? They'll call me. And I've had so many calls for hair fall solutions. They would call me for, can you tell me how to control my hair fall? And I'm like really facing like this. I would tell them whatever I know. I would immediately start like saying, see, I'm not an expert. I'm
Hmm.
not a like, certified person. But with my journey and what I learned through the process, I will share with you.
Okay.
And then I will go ahead and listen what is their concern. And then I will try to give them short choices of try to do this, try to do that. And if anything helps, let me know.
Hmm.
And they would do it and they would see results. And then they would like immediately happily call back and say, yeah, I've seen results. It's helping a lot. Thank you so
Interesting.
much. So no problem.
Are there other factors to this, Poornima? Because one thing I've heard is water quality also matters a lot, right? Whatever water you use on your hair and all that. But your product is just half of it. The other half is water and their environment and all. So how do you overcome those challenges? How do you explain that to a customer?
It's exactly the point, Jay. This is what I tell them. What I tell my customers when they call when they call me is I would say like first of all, do a check with the
Hmm.
doctor.
Hmm.
Because if there's anything internally happening, you can't solve it by external
Correct.
applications. Check with the doctor. Second, I would tell them like do your best with what you can by applying oil. I would not push them to buy mine, but I would
Hmm.
say, see, whatever oil you buy a good quality and religiously follow the process of oil application because I believe that helps a lot in that circulation and in return growing your hair. You have to have that patience and consistency and do it.
Hmm.
So this, as you mentioned, I would always mention this to them. I would tell them, first of all, we have to get into the fact that this is not our country.
Hmm.
Because when we were in India, it's like entirely different. The humidity, where you are born, your body adapts, and all that is entirely different. And
Yeah.
here, your body is trying to adapt to the constant heater. You are
Hmm.
constantly in the
Yeah.
room.
Correct.
You have this ventilators above you with constant temperature differences going on. So your body is trying to adapt to it, and that's why a lot of people have this dry scalp and dandruff coming up.
Hmm.
So I explain it to them like, see, this is why it is happening. So to control that, go outside, take a walk, drink water, drink lots of water. Everything is interrelated
Correct.
actually. Your exercise, your food, your surroundings, everything is interrelated. So if
100%.
you say you are losing hair, it's not just because of stress. It's
Hmm.
also so many other factors You, no matter what you do, you will not be able to get the hair that you were having when you were 15 years and 20 years. Because we are aging, as long as you have healthy, like 50 strands of hair falling a day is normal. So if that is there, that is fine. But if there's anything abnormal, then you have to go.
So one, just going back a little bit, when did you start Purnima? When did you start this entrepreneurship journey?
I registered my company exactly in Jan 2021.
Okay.
Before that, I was like, I did made the soap and I was using from 2021. Yeah, 2020, I
Hmm.
started making soaps at home for myself and doing all that experimentations. But from 2021, it was like, we have not bought soaps and shampoos from outside. It's
Okay.
all what we make it, I make at home.
Why entrepreneurship? What did you study? Why didn't you look for jobs? That's the easier path, right?
Yeah, my kids were still small at that time, Jay. My daughter was 5 and I just had my son. And I really want to do something for myself. By that time, I think it's a postpartum depression and that I'm not able to do anything for my family and all my education is gone for waste or some sort of that feeling creeps in. And I wanted to do something, but I couldn't leave my kids at that time. And correctly, pandemic also came when my son was born. So whatever you could try from home is what was there in my mind at that time. Maybe catering or maybe some sort of any entrepreneurship from home. And I was exploring all the options actually. And this was not in the option. To be very frank, this was not in the option, but this was there for myself that I was doing. A friend of mine, very close friend of mine, suggested about soap making. She said, like, what do you want to make soaps? And then I was like, okay, let me explore. And that's how I started making soaps for ourselves at home. And then I think that the thought grew over on me and then it led me into entrepreneurship.
Got it. Interesting. You are a one-man show. So you do everything from making your product, packaging it. Can you walk us through operations of what all do you do?
Yeah, sure. When it comes to manufacturing, I have soaps. I also have face packs. I have hair packs. I make serums, face serums, and I make hair oils. And I have my hero product as of now, which is going very great and highly reviewed product is Herbal Tint, my henna based hair color. So these are the products. In this, I have different variations of them, but then this is the basic of the products, and I manufacture, I make everything and pack it and label it and set it aside. That is manufacturing. And then when it comes to marketing, I keep always sending flyers, making new flyers, keeping on top of what is happening. What are the best dates coming up in the month and what should I work on it? What deals can I put and whom should I collaborate in Instagram to make more reach of my product? So everything keeps running simultaneously along with packing the orders which I get. I pack them and I ship them. So yeah, this is how from making the product to shipping the product.
How much time do you allocate to each, to manufacturing, to packaging, to promotions and shipping?
It all runs simultaneously, Jay. I'm like, as I'm the one man show at the moment, so it all works simultaneously. I might be attending a customer's call while packing a product or shipping a product.
You-
I might be talking to any Instagram influencer or dealing with that while doing some other, making a soap, putting my headphones on and talking with them and making it simultaneously. So I don't know because I do have my home, my kids and everything. And yeah, that's how I'm working at the moment.
Oh, are you working around the clock? Is that fair to say?
Putting all my, given all my roles, including a mother and a house, a wife and that. Yes, working around the clock. You won't believe I love to sleep. Okay. Nowadays,
you
I
chose
wake
the
up.
you chose the wrong profession.
Yes, sleep is my regeneration. Okay. There might be some people who say, like, when I do this, I get regenerated and all that. But I always find that sleep is my tablet. So anything, everything, I sleep, it gets fixed for me for some reason. But I don't know. Now I'm like, okay, if I sleep, I can't do this. Let me go finish this and come.
Okay.
And I do see a difference of lack of sleep on my, how I feel, how I physically feel myself. But as it's very true, it's around the clock working by myself. But now I'm learning. As I said, when I started, I wasn't educated. I didn't have any knowledge what to do, what not to do. But now I'm learning that you need to delegate your work, no matter what. Now I've reached to a point where I'm no longer able to do everything because there was a time where I had to pack 50 orders a day.
Hmm.
And I can't do, it's 50 orders a day. Nobody, one single person can do that along with my other work. That's when I realized like I need to delegate my work. I should do smart work now. And that's when I can find a better way of managing my business, I would say. But again, that also needs a lot of input, finance and all that.
Hmm. So,
So
is there someone helping you, mentoring you now?
I don't have book friends who always tell me, like, I do share with them about entrepreneurship and they do tell me, like, this is what you have to do and all that. Apart from that, I wish I could afford a mentor, but I do listen to a lot of mentorship from Instagram and YouTube because I love to hear motivation
Hmm.
talk. Somewhere down the lane that helped me a lot, not just motivation, also like how to manage your time and execute. Listening is different and executing is different,
Right. Right.
right? You might listen and you think, oh, it's so easy, let's do it. But when you execute it, you practically face another
Hmm.
set of problems. And then how to solve that? Again, I keep listening. I try to search answers for it. But mentoring is not in the calendar yet, Jerry. It's so expensive. People, the coaches and all that. I don't know.
And so, you one thing you mentioned was shipping. Yours is e-commerce because you get orders, you supply those orders. How did you figure out shipping? Two parts. One, getting from India. How expensive is that? How do you manage that? And two, once you manufacture it, how did you find best shipping off? Because I think shipping is expensive in US, especially for small businesses.
It is, Jay. It is. See, that is the point when entrepreneurship doesn't have all answers.
Mm.
You need to figure it out as you go, or you have to see the difference between a small business. That's why we say shipping. We say like orders above 50 is free shipping. So we assume we are going to get something out of it. So we can give them, it's a decent order to ship for free. And when we get an order of $50, it's all put together. So shipping can be handled is
Mm.
how we price price it for ourselves. But when you take a single product, we only price it with our profit, our raw materials, and only with ourselves. We
Mm.
don't include the shipping in it.
Mm.
So we charge the shipping to the customers. It is
Mm.
neither taken by us nor by the customer. It is going to only the shipping company. But it's not like all other companies and like major brands. You don't pay, right? Or they would include the shipping also in every product of theirs. The pricing would go entirely different with big brands. I hope you understand what I'm telling, right?
Mhm.
The pricing
Yeah.
strategy for bigger brands is entirely different. But whereas for us, it's different. So
Volume. More volume you have, the better pricing.
exactly. Even shipping also is the same. It was a initially I used to rake my brains like, why is it that they can give for $3? How is it that they can ship for flat $5? I can't. And in UPS, it's not even possible.
Mm.
And even now, I don't go to UPS because UPS is like very small order. You have to flat rate of $20,
Mm.
$15 will come. I go to USPS and USPS gives me a better deal with integration with the online shipping platforms and all that. They give you better deals, and that is what we are charging to our customers.
Okay.
So if I say like every order I have given a $6 shipping, there are even orders which I pay from my pocket for that weight and that dimension. It's not that. So we come into an average and give that. I give $6 as an average shipping price per an order, and if above $50, I do free shipping. That's
Okay.
how I do. And then the order doesn't go to the doorstep. The orders are delivered in their main box. I get numerous messages asking me, when is order going to be delivered? I didn't get it in my doorstep. I ordered after 2 months also people ping me like my order is not delivered. I mean, I'll go back, I'll track the order and see it is delivered. And then I will tell them like, please go check in your mailbox. It's USPS. And we also have automatic emails going to them giving their tracking ID. But people will come ask us, they got used to this Amazon, do a shipment in 2 days. Yes, shipping within US is a challenge for small businesses. But that's how we have to work. We have no other choice. And when it comes to from India, obviously the couriers, they charge my price accordingly. So whatever product I'm getting, how much the shipping is going into it. And that is how I price my product also, right? After including my raw material cost. So yeah.
And would you be so? What kind of margins do you have to keep for this to be sustainable on your products?
That is dependent upon everybody, their own choice, Jai, because some people keep three times margin, some keep 5 times, some keep even 10 times.
Okay. So, what kind of investments do you have to start with, Poornima?
Initially, I really don't remember on top of my mind correctly, like this much how I invested. But my initial investments went to purchasing the oils and butters, the raw materials for making soap, because that was my first product that I made, soaps. And then the soap molds for making the soap. And then that was all that I invested in the initial stages. And when I started doing oils for bottling and labeling, that's when the labeling came into picture.
Okay.
So bottles, and then sourcing the eco-friendly aluminum bottles was a challenge again because I didn't want to use plastic bottles.
Okay.
And then that pricing was again different. And yeah, it just goes on, Jay, because the reason is I didn't plan my business. That's the major drawback for what happened to me was like that. I didn't plan my business. My husband was very kind. He was very supportive. He wanted to
Right.
help me go forward with what I was doing very passionately. He did invest himself. But now I'm trying to really get back like in a very professional way to manage my expense and manage the orders and how to check the insights of how the business website is going and all that. Honestly, I'm doing it now
Okay.
from past 6 months. But before that, I was more concentrated on making like this much of sales per month. There were days where I used to like one order worth $100 like that.
Nice. But do you have amount you have invested so far, like a lump sum till today?
Yeah, it's there because I do procure my inner product, my herbal tint hair color, right? I can't manufacture it here, so I have to manufacture it from India. And there, the minimum order quantities are always in that aspect. I had to spend some couple of thousands of dollars there. And then so far, what altogether, it would be some $10,000 so far. But it's
Interesting.
not that I've not made it yet. I've made it, but I would not say at a great profit. I'm just trying to keep my
Yeah, you're still
business afloat.
establishing. Yeah. You're saying you're still establishing, correct?
Yes, I'm making what I've put in, but then it is still going back into my business rather in my pocket.
Yeah. So my father has a business, and I totally understand how difficult that cash flow is. He tells me, like, I asked my dad what is the most important thing in a business, and he tells me that managing cash flow is the most important thing, not profits, not anything, but managing that rotation of money and cash flow and all that.
It is, I really need to learn for myself from somebody that how do I really take money for myself from the business? Because that is most avoiding thing that you can get. That's so
Correct.
motivating. Why do people go to job rather than business? Is the main fact is the income, the standard income that they get. But here, entrepreneur level, giving a product, everything gives you a happiness. But then that void of you are not making anything for yourself or for your family, that is evident. I really need to learn myself.
Right, right, right. So, and how did you figure out your products, Purnima? Because now you sell a lot of things. Can you tell us everything? What did you start with? And then how did you figure out all the products that you're now selling?
I started with soaps because I said, my friend, she introduced me to soaps. I was very into it.
Okay.
And she's my very close friend from my school. Her friend, neighbor, somebody was making it. And she was saying, Poornima, that soap is really very good. Why don't you make it? You can make there also. And then she sent me the details of it and all that. And she said, you give it a try. So when I tried it, I really found the difference because when I buy the other store bought soaps, after face wash, all this area would get very whitish for me. It become very dry unless I put any serum or oil like that. But when I made the soap, what she mentioned through this whole process method, and when I used it wasn't happening. So I found the difference there. Soon as I found the difference there, I really believed in that soap. I thought this is why the soap is being like, they're saying like it's a good soap, very natural soap. And obviously the big giants doesn't want this to happen. They want to market their own formulations, their own creams and all that. And small businesses cannot cater to that price. And that's why it's priced high also. It's $8 a soap is not easy to buy, right? One soap, $8. But if you value what you're going to put on yourself, you will do that. That's how it goes.
And so soap you started with, then how did you find out what other products to sell?
Yes, after soap, and I really had this face pack and the hair pack in my mind already because the hair pack I was already using, right? So that was one of my products. And similarly with the body wash powder. Body wash powder is also similarly made with the 25 herbs and it is grounded and it is very good for your body. And you see, the advantage of all these products are one product works in a multiple way.
Hmm.
The body wash powder, it doesn't only cleanse your body, it also exfoliates your body.
Hmm.
Okay, so you don't need any other product to exfoliate. You don't need now in the market, you will have a sugar scrub for exfoliation, and then you have soap for cleansing, and you have oils for toners and all that. But our Indian products are one product in multiple ways. If these products are soaked in hot water 10 minutes before you take bath, hair wash, or body wash, you soak in hot water, you are adding the green moong dal and all that, right? Besan and all that. They have oil in that. The dals have oil, they have oils in it that activates. And then they also act as a scrub. So when you rub and when you take a wash, every day you are giving like a very minute scrub to your skin. But whereas the market now you have these sugar foam scrubs, they are giving an over exfoliation. That is why they say don't use more than once a week. They do mention that because you are over exfoliating. It's very harsh on the skin. But our products are very mild that even if you use every day, you can cleanse, exfoliate, and it also adds nourishment to your skin. It doesn't take away the oil from your skin. In fact, it gives more nourishment to your skin. But we are losing the knowledge of all this there's so much of science behind these products, but people are forgetting about it.
And so, you also grew, I would say, your Instagram, right? And I haven't checked your Facebook, but you grew quite a bit on social media, I would say, at least 2, 3 thousand in Instagram followers and all that. How was your Instagram journey? How did you grow?
It was a lot of struggle there also. But I didn't give up, actually. I would say the only trait that any entrepreneurship should have is no giving up. Because you have a vision, you want to do something, you want to give something to their society through your entrepreneur journey. Yes, I did undergo a lot of stress and struggles to learn all this, but I learned how Instagram works. What should I do? How should I do? I keep talking with a lot of other entrepreneurs, what they are doing, how they are doing. And as a part of it, I collaborate with Instagram influencers. Um, and my influencers, whomever I approach, I just don't tell them to make a reel out of the blue or make a video. I tell them first you use my product. You use it when you like it, when you see some results, that's when you do a reel or do a video. Because when you like my product and when you want to talk about it, you will talk even much better than Just like that, I got this product, it's very good, buy from her, right? Because I want it to be organic. I don't want to buy customers or fake the customers by asking them to tell, hey, buy from her, it's good, and then pay them off. No. And that has worked because they use it and they genuinely talk more than I do for my product. And they're like, whenever you are putting sale, Poornima, give me the flyer. I will put it on stories. They've become so close friends to me now. Like they share my sale or any the product that I'm doing. They still share it on their stories. So that builds the relationship with them and the people who are following them. And that is how I was able to build my Instagram to that level at the moment.
So this is basically your marketing, right? Are you paying them while collaborating with them?
There are both happening, Jai. Few people do as a barter system. They just get the product and then they talk for us. But whatever they do, whether I pay or whether I don't pay, I request them to use the product. If you use my product, I have heard influencers who said, I'm not going to use your product, but I can talk for your product. I said, no, I don't want. And I myself have rejected people with lots of followers. They have 100K followers and all that. But when they said like they would not use my product, I said, okay, fine, thanks.
But these products are not one time use, right? So for example, if you want to improve your hair quality or whatever, oils, you have to use it continuously, like for a period of time, and then only then it helps, or
Yes,
whatever that person is using. So isn't that like a bit of a struggle for you to wait for so much time before the influencer uses your product and then?
it is. But I think the wait paid off, right? The oil, be it serum. I've had people, I just had an influencer giving a reel yesterday. She just posted yesterday. I've been behind her for past 6 months. I gave her the product 6 months ago. And it's not about like she took her time to post it. No, I wanted her to use it. She used it and then she spoke about the product. And in a similar manner, there was other person as well. She used my hair dye and she posted the real time pictures. So that connected with the customers and she herself loved it. And she's become like my every time buyer. Every month she buys from me. That is what I want from them because when they trust me, they will talk for me and that will happen eventually, is what I believe. Actually, yes, I am really scared. I'll keep waiting for months for a promotion to go on because I want them to use and all that. It takes time, but it is effective and organic for me. I simply don't want to have like followers and then not having sales or not having trust. I want people to trust and it will take time.
Hmm. Can you share how much is the minimum you have paid to an influencer and how much is the maximum you have paid to an influencer?
So far, it's been $350 a maximum that I have paid, and minimum is like barter system. People take the product and they don't take any money from us, and they talk for us.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
And how many you made a very good point, right? You don't want followers where there is no sales. Do followers on social media help you with sales? Does that actually correlate?
no,
Maybe not one to one, but what is the ratio?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, I would say only 5%, maximum 5% of those people make your sale.
Okay.
But other people, it will take maybe another month or 2 months or 3 months for me to convince them. They liked me. They liked my products. They are on my page. But what takes me to convert them into my sales is the strategy that I have to use.
Got it. Got it.
For them, price might be a challenge. Few
Hmm.
people, price might be a challenge. Few people, they're still questioning themselves. Is it like worth trying? Because it's something that you're going to put on yourself where people would not jump into conclusions, right? Like a dress. If you buy a dress and you don't like it, you can throw it away. But if you buy a product, if you don't want to put it, of course you can throw it away again. But then people will think of spending that amount, right? Should I buy it or should I not? Now, how do I convince them is my strategy that I have to include in my marketing for those people to convert into sales. And that's what I'm trying.
What has helped you so far? What are you doing to convince those people who are following you?
Okay, all that I keep mentioning at the time is you need consistency. You need to try natural products. Natural products will have this smell. I don't use carcinogenic perfumes, carcinogenic causing perfumes. So my products are all scent free. And whatever smell that comes from the product is a natural smell that comes from the herbs that I put into it. So that is what I've been telling and educating them. But I think down the lane, I've got the confidence to tell them if you're buying onion oil, it has to smell onion oil. Because if it's not smelling, then you are not using onion oil.
That way. And so, how have you gained customers so far? Like you said, Instagram converts maybe 5%, 10% people, but what is your strategy or what has worked for you to gain customers repeatedly?
I think my Instagram sales, the Instagram ads, I run ads. So targeting the people. I think so far, the customers that I'm getting are genuine customers who are looking for products. There's no questioning. I can know that my ad has converted into some sales. So they have seen my ad in the Facebook or Instagram while scrolling, and they have seen my page, they have seen my products, and they have ordered. So that's where my confidence has come from. Nowhere, from nowhere. I have not even been to New Jersey. So somebody from New Jersey is ordering my product. And how is that? So they have seen my ad somewhere, scroll down somewhere, and they've seen about my products. They have been intrigued to try that and they're coming. So there is a genuine market for natural products. It is just that I have to try a little harder to reach them. And that's what I'm trying.
But what is your main source of customers? Is it referrals who have used your products? They are telling their friends. Is that
I'm
what?
surprised actually, Jay. That's a good question, actually. I am really surprised because it's more than referrals. It's all new customers that I'm getting.
Okay.
A reference in local to hai. I do have my local customers, repetitive customers, and they do tell to their friends and all that is there because local is now, it's like they keep seeing me. They see me. They see my friends. You are seeing a person, you are knowing it and going about. That is, you know. And if, for example, if you take L'Oreal, their ads keep coming in every other page you go. L'Oreal. Nobody's going to, still like by L'Oreal, right? So it's something like that. But when you take Tara Herbals, how many in the people would know Tara Herbals? Tell me. Now in Austin, at least my friend circle, my community where I am, something like that. That is expected. But the unexpected part is when my sales per day, where 80% of my sales is coming from out of Austin, who don't know me, who don't know my brand. So yeah, that I think it's from the ads that I run, Instagram ads. That is my main source of marketing at the moment.
How do you deal with fraud? Because I'm guessing e-commerce, there is a lot of fraud happening, right? People order and they say we didn't receive and they ask for refund and all that. How do you deal with such customers?
Yes, I wouldn't say that this they did purpose me, but I did come across such situations where the delivery didn't happen to them, and then they gave a wrong address, and then the product didn't get delivered to them, and then and once even I think the box was taken away from their doorstep, it was stolen. Something like that happens, but customers' happiness is more important, right? So that is a loss for me. I ship them back the products. I ship them only to not to see them sad because they paid and they want. And out of that, there is a little selfishness that when I do this ad, they'll find, they will try my product, and if they like it, they will spread the word of my product.
Correct.
But I haven't seen anybody doing it wantedly.
And you would have gone through a lot of doubt period, right, Poornima, when you started. It is very tough. You have to make sales. You need a certain number of customers. How much time was that doubt period of whether I should do this business or not? And how did you overcome that?
Still the same only, Jay. It is
Interesting.
still
Okay.
the same. See, I would say like When you are doing as a business model, when you start as a business with investments and all that, it's entirely different now. Which I started as an mompreneur, solopreneur. I just, if it comes from my pocket money is enough is what I started. And after all the investment that went into it and after all the hard work and all the struggles, I don't want to leave it. It's like my third kid. But at the same time, I'm still struggling to, as I said, to take money out of my business is not possible at the moment. Just rotation is
Mm,
happening. So it all make me feel a bit low because after putting so much of effort, we are not making much is what
mm,
I think. But this year, comparatively better. But that question keeps popping up even now.
No, that yeah, that's definitely very difficult. And what learnings have you had as a business owner doing all this for last 3 4 years?
There is a lot, Jay. You
Mm,
have to be confident.
three. I'm saying
Top,
top three.
yes, yes. You have to be extremely confident about your product and yourself. Know in and out about your product. And if anybody asks, you should not like fumble and tremble and should be like constantly giving them the answer about your product.
Mm,
So, number one. Number two is you have to plan before getting into a business, is what I learned it in a hard way.
mm,
Like how much you have, what you could do with that, what is the profit you expect out of it, and how to scale it slowly is a plan. I did it without a plan, and it's a wrong move. I shouldn't have done that.
mm,
And then the third thing is don't give up and patience. They both go hand in hand
mm,
because, as I said, there was a day where I was thinking to make 100 a month,
mm.
$100 a month. Imagine if I make $100 a month, that would be the best thing for me. From there, I'm making like an order is $100 for me nowadays.
Mm.
Okay. Of course, there are the minimum orders, one product order, that's all fine. But when you see that, I always thank God for it. So it's patience. If I would have walked back a year ago thinking like this is not going to work out, I don't think Amazon would be where it is if they would have worked off like in between or any even Microsoft. It's like never give up. If you know something that you can achieve as your heart says so, please go behind it is what I would say.
So now, do you feel back of your head that yes, you're going to be successful in this?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
And how do you deal with the entrepreneurship stress? Do you have tips to overcome your daily stress? I think sleeping was one thing you said, but there are and you can't do that now because you want to spend more time. But what other ways do you overcome stress?
I still take the advantage of weekends to sleep, that
Okay.
entire sleep. I take a good sleep in the weekend. But apart from that, I'm not very regular in it, but I do believe that this is helping me a lot. Meditation and exercises, regular walking and drinking enough of water and doing regular basic exercises is helping a lot. And meditation and writing notes. There's a very it's a very nostalgic incident when I was in my eighth grade. That is when my teacher introduced us to the concept of writing diaries. I hated it to sit and write and all that is like, it's not so good. I used to hate it. But can you imagine, like, after some 25 years later, now I'm going back feeling that why I didn't adapt to it? Because as an entrepreneur, I learned that you have to relieve your mind, right? So writing down and then meditating and all these are helping a lot to take away your stress and you to plan your day. I'm not 100% there yet, but these do help a bit and, get you back.
What do you write down which helps you relieve your stress?
The tasks, especially daily tasks and weekly tasks, what to do. And if I want to do something, I keep telling myself, like, you can do it. I keep writing that off. You can do it. Quitting is not a good thing. Don't give up. Something like that, what I want to keep telling to myself. And then if I'm angry or something, I'll write in a scratch off. These are techniques that we hear, but they really work.
Mm. Thank you, Poornima. I had a great time chatting with you, and I wish you all the best and good luck with your business. I hope this year, I know you're already doing well, but you grow more and more from here.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you for this opportunity. It really feels so nice when you've been recognized by somebody and asking for what you learned and what you did in your business. It really means a lot for an entrepreneur like me, always.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for listening to this episode. I learned a lot. My key learning is if you know what you want to do, then patience and persistence is key. What about you? Share with me your learnings, or if you just found this episode inspiring and interesting. You can reach out to me on pod.dhustlers@gmail.com or drop a comment if you're listening on YouTube or Spotify, or connect with me on Instagram. I will link the details in this description.